Has someone ever told you that you're too sensitive, that you take things too hard, feel too much, react too big? Here's a different way to think about that. What if your nervous system isn't broken? It's just working exactly the way that it's designed to. In this video, I'm going to explain a concept called the window of tolerance, why some people's window is narrower than others, and why that's not a character flaw. Then I'll walk you through the real practical ways to widen yours over time. So let's get into it. So the window of tolerance is a concept developed by psychiatrist Dan Siegel, and it describes a zone of arousal where you're able to function at your best. Inside this window, you can think clearly, you can feel your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, and you can respond to what's happening around you instead of just reacting on autopilot. Picture it like a band running through the middle of a chart. So above that band is one state, below it is another, and the middle, the window itself, is where you have full access to your thinking brain and your full emotional range at the same time. Here's the part that matters most. This window is not the same size for everyone. Some people have a really wide window and they can handle a lot of stress, noise, conflict, or uncertainty before they tip out of it. Other people have a narrower window and it takes less to push them outside of it. That's not good or bad. It's just how your nervous system is currently calibrated. And this is key. It can change. So what happens when you get pushed outside that window? Above the window is hyperarousal. Think of this as a fight or flight response kicking in, and it can look like racing thoughts, anxiety or panic, irritability, snapping at people, feeling wired or unable to sit still, a pounding heart, tight chest, or shallow breathing. And below the window is hypoarousal. This is more of a freeze or shutdown response, and it can look like feeling numb or disconnected, mental fog, trouble concentrating, fatigue that comes out of nowhere, wanting to withdraw or isolate, a sense of checking out of your own body. Most people move between these states throughout a normal day. So the goal isn't to never leave the window. That's not realistic. The goal is to notice when you've left it and have the tools to bring you back. Now, here's where this gets personal for a lot of you watching. If you've been called too sensitive your whole life, there's a good chance you have what researcher Elaine Aron calls sensory processing sensitivity, a nervous system trait, not a disorder, found in roughly 15 to 20% of people. A highly sensitive nervous system tends to take in more information from the environment and process it more deeply. You might notice subtle shifts in someone's tone of voice. You might feel overstimulated in a loud, bright room faster than people around you. You might replay a conversation for hours after everyone else has moved on. Here's the connection to the window of tolerance. If your nervous system is registering more input and processing it more deeply, it often reaches the edges of your window sooner than someone with a less sensitive system. It's not a flaw, it's just bundled with real strengths, actually. So it comes with empathy, intuition, creativity, and the ability to pick up on things that other people miss entirely. But it also means the edges of your window can show up more often in situations that might not even register to someone else. So when someone says to you, you're too sensitive, what's often actually true is your window is narrower in this moment, not your capacity smaller overall. And a narrower window is something that you can work with and gradually widen. So before we get into strategies, it helps to build the skill of noticing where you are right now. So ask yourself, am I in hyperarousal? Is my heart rate up for no clear reason? Do my thoughts feel like they're racing or looping? Am I snapping at people or feeling flooded? Am I in hypoarousal? So do I feel foggy, flat, or far away? Am I avoiding people or tasks that I'd normally handle fine? Does my body feel heavy or shut down? Or am I in my window? Can I feel my emotions without being swept away by them? Can I think and problem solve even if I'm uncomfortable? There's no wrong answer. It's just data. The moment you notice I've moved into hyperarousal, you've already done the hardest part because now you need to know what kind of tool you need. So let's talk about how to widen the window. This is the part you came for, right? Widening your window doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen through willpower alone. It happens through consistent, small practices that teach your nervous system that it's safe to expand. And here are 6 of the most effective ones. First is regulate your body before your mind. So when you're outside your window, logic doesn't work yet. Your thinking brain isn't online, and that's why just calm down never works. So instead, start with your body. Slow exhales longer than your inhales, splashing cool water on your face, pressing your feet into the floor, or a short walk. These signal safety to your nervous system first, and once your body settles, your mind will follow. 2 is practice titration, or it's a small, safe doses of discomfort. So widening your window happens by touching that edge on purpose in small amounts and then returning to safety, not by throwing yourself into the deep end. That might mean staying in a slightly uncomfortable conversation for 2 extra minutes before disengaging, or sitting with a wave of anxiety for 60 seconds before using a coping tool. Small repeated stretches, not overwhelm, are what builds capacity. 3 is protect predictable rhythms. Have a routine. Sleep, food, and routine aren't small things. They're the foundation that your entire window sits on. A dysregulated, exhausted, underfed nervous system will have a narrow window no matter how many coping skills you know. Before anything fancy, protect your basics. 4, use co-regulation, not just self-regulation. So nervous systems calm down faster next to another calm nervous system. That's called co-regulation, and it's not a weakness. It's actually one of the fastest paths back to your window. A steady friend, a therapist, a pet, even a calm voice on the phone can help you regulate faster than trying to do it all by yourself. Next, track your patterns. Keep a simple log. What pushed you outside your window? Which direction? Hyper, and how long it took to come back. Over weeks, patterns emerge. Certain people, certain environments, certain times of day. That awareness alone often shrinks the intensity of future episodes. And finally, consider working with a nervous system informed therapist. So approaches like somatic experiencing, polyvagal informed therapy, or EMDR are specifically designed to gently expand the window of tolerance in a supported setting, especially if past experiences made your window narrower than you'd like. This isn't required to make progress, but it can accelerate it. So let's look at some myths, things that get in the way. So the first one is sensitive people just need to toughen up. And that's like pushing harder against a window usually backfires. It just teaches your nervous system that the world isn't safe, which narrows the window further. Widening happens through safety and gradual practice, not pressure or shame. Myth number 2 is a wide window means you stop feeling things intensely. And that's not true. A wide window doesn't mean numbness. It means you can feel a big emotion and still function, still think, still choose your response. The goal was never to feel less. It's to have more room to feel it. So let's recap. The window of tolerance is a zone where you can think and feel at the same time. Above it is hyperarousal. Below it's hypoarousal. And a narrow window doesn't mean something's wrong with you, especially if you're a highly sensitive person whose nervous system simply takes in more. The window can widen. Regulate the body first, stretch it in small doses, protect your basic rhythms, lean on co-regulation, track your patterns, and consider support from a nervous system informed therapist if you want that extra help. If this helped you to make sense of why you feel things the way you do, hit subscribe. I make videos like this regularly, and drop a comment which one of these 6 strategies you're going to try first. Thanks for being here. See you next time.